Welcome to an all-new episode of Lisa Ann's Backstage Convos. I am Lisa Ann, and I'm so excited to have an industry legend sitting right across me. You see her right there. That is the one and only Tori Black, who is gracing the Sapphire location in New York City with her one feature booking of the year. That is some limited access. Tori Black. Hi, baby.
Hi, it's been so long.
It has been so long.
Did we actually try and count and figure out how many years it's been? It's been at least 4.
It's been, okay, let's go back first and talk about how many years we've known each other.
Oh, man.
I mean, we initially met.
I remember a trip to Washington, D.C. we did together.
Yes.
That was forever ago.
Yes.
I want to say I met you almost right off when I got into the industry.
Which was what year?
2007.
So 2007.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be about right. Yep, that would be about right.
I'm pretty sure that I met you really soon after I got introduced into the industry.
We never got to work together enough.
No, we did not. We worked together, I think, one time. We
did the Christmas scenario.
Oh, that's 2.
So it's 2 times. Remember the Christmas scenario?
Yeah, with
because
Phoenix.
It's funny. Yes, and I try to use that scene on OF because I use OF as a library for all my content. And they continue to take it down because Everhard's wearing the Santa suit for so much of the scene.
Oh my God. Yes.
But people don't understand one of the reasons why 2 stars don't work together. It's normally a budget thing. It's not that we didn't want to work together more.
No.
It's a budget thing.
Well, and I think that trying to get our schedules to combine, you were traveling so much, I was traveling so much, the budget, all of that all together, it's really complicated.
Yeah.
And especially when you're trying to pair us, if you're trying to add in a man in there, you're going to use somebody
and a man of our preference as well, because we're not letting you tell us we have to work with whoever.
Yep. You're narrowing it down to like maybe a day a year.
Yeah, you're right. So 4 years since we've seen each other last, and this many years of your career, what has it been like watching so much change in front of you? Because when you and I first met, and when you first got in the business in 2007, there weren't all these apps. It was like you got to go to set, you got paid, you went home. You didn't even have to really worry about social media yet. There was no additional homework. And now it can feel like this 24/7 wheel, 7 days a week. How have you adapted to that new space that we're in?
Well, in my opinion, it's definitely a double-edged sword. So there's a lot of qualities that I have in myself that I really appreciate are being highlighted now. However, obviously, invasion of privacy is natural when you are introducing the girlfriend experiment, the concept of you're the internet's girlfriend. When you're introducing that and giving people platforms like OnlyFans or any other platform, you're getting more acquainted, and people start to feel like they're closer and want more and more, as you would with a girlfriend, right? But I think that these kind of platforms and the connectivity on social media is giving, like, for example, I like to write. So if I want to then switch to publishing some writing, I think it's a really easy transition, and people are already getting to know my personality as well. So I think that it gives me some opening, some space, whereas the structure and formula before was very limited.
Very limited.
You could not, it wasn't like, it would just be some random, oh, this girl sings now.
Yeah.
You know, there would be no context or backstory. But now you could definitely set it up and push some of your other, maybe more hidden talents. So I like that.
You show exactly that. You're showcasing that, and also you're having the time to actually think about what you want to put out there. It's not like when we showed up on set, we're like, I don't even know what I'm wearing yet. You know what I mean? Let alone with this scenario, let alone the title of this scene.
I specifically remember the day that I decided to grow out my hair because I was so tired of shooting little girl content. It was so uncomfortable for me. And to have that be a reality that I had to face was really strange. It was really weird. It was not something I had anticipated in getting into the industry. So now it's so much different. I don't have to rebel. I can do whatever I want. As on display with my hair. My hair is changing all the time.
I love your hair changing all the time, though, because we're changing all the time. You're right. Thinking about how different things were for us and how much more creative it made us become, and how the double-edged sword you speak of, I don't know if as many OnlyFans stars or talent that's getting in through vehicle of OnlyFans realize the value of feature dancing, of doing appearances. When you got in, we still did the shows that was B2B, where you just go to warehouse and sign a bunch of things.
Yep.
There were so many other little gigs that I think have been
Internext.
Internext?
That
Oh
was-
my gosh, I forgot about that.
It was not. That wasn't even a fan. That
Nope,
was not
B2B, just
that was-
business to business. That's
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Yeah. Internext.
And you'd be there with your 100 posters
Yep.
just for one store to get those pre-signed. But those were different ways that we got to meet different people. I feel like we were a bit more connected with the people that sold our product. Like I liked going to bookstores and meeting
Yeah.
the people that were so into it. They knew all the toys. They knew all the
Yeah.
new movies coming out. You get to see it through their eyes.
So there's definitely a disconnect now as far as like, you know, the old school part of the industry that's still, you know, big movie, big budget, and the crew and the people that work on it. Now, you know, girls can make so much money with a little stand at their house. So there's definitely a disconnect that happens there. But, you know, it's ebbing and flowing and shifting and changing. You know, I'm sure for a lot of girls that are still doing both, there's a little bit more connectivity. But for me, I feel my life on an island. I do.
Let's talk about that. What made you decide to pick up your entire life and move to an island?
Well, so obviously I'm a mom, and you know, my kids are getting bigger, and I actually shifted right in the beginning of the pandemic, which is a big reason I wanted to shift. But I just felt like it wasn't the area that I was living in California. It wasn't aligning with my my goals as a parent. I wanted a lot of outdoor time. I really wanted to feel more humble in my outdoor space and in my home space. And I felt like a lot of the energy coming from their schools was a little, let's just say, well-to-do. And it was my daughter was coming home in kindergarten talking about Chanel, and I was like, "What? Are you kidding me right now?" And so
This is not good. This is not good.
I just wanted to get back down to earth. I was raised in the woods. I grew up climbing trees. I grew up on a bike. I was very much a 90s kid outside all the time. And I wanted that for my kids. And I feel like moving to Hawaii really opened up that and made it a day-to-day possibility.
Of course it did. And also the pace of life being so much more relaxed.
Yes.
You know, sure, there's limitations. I'm sure you were a little bit of sticker shock when you were grocery shopping your first couple of times, right? Because
Just a few times.
Because everything is imported. But then there's the lack of the stress of the grind of as much traffic. If you want to do something, you can actually do it. And the way people are warmer because they're on an island. They're island people and they're just different.
Yeah.
It's like living in a vacation mode at all times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel a lot more connected. And I think that I was also intentionally removing a bit from the industry because I knew that the intent to shoot more and all of that was going to continue to build and travel more and do more. It was going to build and stay around if I stayed in LA. But if I removed myself, I was thinning out my to-do list. And I appreciated that because I can spend more time with my kids. Now I cook for them every morning and
so great.
cook them dinner. And, you know, we have 2 amazing dogs and I just live a family life. I love it.
That's fantastic. Well, you've set yourself up to do this because since you've been in the industry, you've been preparing for your real life outside of the industry.
Yeah.
And I think quite a few of us, I mean, I live here in New York City full time now. I knew that staying in the Valley was only going to keep me in the same friend groups, crossing the same paths, having the same conversation, eventually ending up on the same set.
Yep.
You know, just because it's there, and now that's not a thing. And so it's sometimes you just wake up, you're like, I remember saying to myself, I moved here to get in the business. I don't want to be in the business anymore. I should not live here.
There you go.
I need to move where I want my new life to be, and I wanted to be here because this is where broadcast was happening for me. This is where my growth was happening. For you, Hawaii is the place where your growth is happening with your family. What's it been like? Because I know you get recognized everywhere. You do have a way to blend because you have a really natural beauty. But fans, do you feel there's as many that are looky-loos in Hawaii as there are in like LA? Because everywhere you go in LA, you're getting stared at.
LA was so much worse. I remember having my son in a baby carrier and I was grocery shopping. and someone would not leave me alone to the point where I had to get the staff's attention. I was ready to call the cops. They were following me around, trying to get pictures of the face.
With you and your baby.
With me and my baby. And I was like, any other time,
Right.
I would give you a picture. But you're being so incredibly invasive right now. And Hawaii's just not like that.
Right.
I have been recognized. I got caught at a very well known grocery store / restaurant called Down to Earth.
Oh,
and
nice name.
it's vegan vegetarian, and so
Nice.
I'm known for being vegan.
Yes.
And so somebody was like, "Are you?" And then he looked down and saw that I had my kids with me, and he was like,
Oh, he was
and I was like,
mindful about
"You're being
it.
nice. You're being nice."
I
And
mean, I was so
like,
mindful. He didn't call it out.
I was like, "Give me just 1 second," and I tucked because I was tucking everybody in the car. Tucked them in the car, and I turned around. I said, "Yes, that's me." And he was like, "So nice to meet you. I'll let you go."
I bet-
And that was that.
See, that's a different quality of person. What a big move you made for your family. What has it been like adapting? Like, I know that you're not connected with the industry. You're not coming back for Exoticas, which I miss you so much at the shows. I'm so happy that you're here at Sapphire. But you still do scenes on your own for your OnlyFans, interact with your following. How do you stay connected with your fans?
Yeah, well, I'm on OnlyFans. I'm on Instagram. I've been banned from Twitter. I've tried to make 20.
Oh, for
different
what? How do you get banned from
I
Twitter?
don't know.
What did you do, Tori?
I wasn't even on it, and I've seen so much stuff on
I've
Twitter.
seen so much stuff.
Why would I put it on Twitter when I have an OnlyFans? I'm just saying. I don't know. I think there's vendettas.
I was going to
out
say,
there.
this is somebody that hates you. I'm going to tell you right now, this is some bitch that
Somebody-
hates you.
and I've
This
had-
is some bitch reporting your shit a million times. This has nothing to do
Yes,
with, you did not do anything wrong.
I had my Instagram was deleted several times, and
And you've never pushed it on your pages.
I got deleted standing in between Jason Love and another Louis Armstrong. is that his
Okay.
name? For Blacked. And that already I knew was triggers.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of my white fan base that does not like the fact that I do interracial. And so they will comment some of the most horrible things.
Horrible things.
And so I had a picture. I was in a sporty bra and panty set. So straight across bra.
Yeah, like the one that says like Vixen.
Yes.
Yes.
The
I know
big
exactly
ones.
what you're talking about.
The big band on the panties. And
Yep.
I'm standing there and they're both in shorts, full shorts. And that got my almost 3 million follower page deleted. And they never responded to anything I said. I tried to reach out. I tried to do all the things. Instagram never responded.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Very frustrating.
But in your situation, Tori, this really makes no difference in the life that you want to live. And as you started to unravel from how much it sucked, I'm sure there was a day you woke up and was like, maybe this is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I think that it maybe narrowed the herd a little bit, and the people that really wanted to follow and be a part of my fan base, they found me.
They found your new page.
Yeah.
And they're going to be there. And then you have, and it'll eventually
And now I have
go.
my stupid little check mark. And it's so crazy to me. You get the check mark and you think that people are going to understand that that is your page because you gave your government ID. And then you get all these people. Why are you scamming people on this other
How often do you deal with it? And do you use any platform to fight any of the imposter chaos that we have to deal with? Because it is really something. And it is amazing to me that somebody will give somebody $80, like a random fucking amount. And then they'll be pissed when they find out they got ripped off. And then they'll come back to me.
And
it's
say,
like,
"You
well,
owe
why didn't
something."
you confirm with me about the $80 before you sent it? You knew I was here because in your mind, you wanted to believe
You
this
wanted
fake
it.
account.
You wanted it.
Yes.
It's your fault. You wanted it.
Yeah.
You wanted it so bad. This one page with 30 followers just happens to be the real me in disguise. You wanted it so bad that you convinced yourself in your silly little head. Okay, that has nothing to do with me, and you're probably going to do it all over again.
Yeah.
I literally, for everybody watching, my roadie's off camera right now, and he and I have been traveling a lot, and we have had this guy, this specific person who has traveled multiple times to meet me, and says that he has paid for plane tickets and done all this stuff, and he comes to me in person to then tell me that I'm catfishing him. except for it's actually me in person, and he's talking to someone who's not me. And he's traveled to multiple places, and I've told him several times, don't send any money. That is not me. That is not me. And he continues to follow. What do you do about that?
It's jarring as fuck. I had a guy spend $250,000 to purchase me as a bride on the internet and showed up at the club and told the manager at the club, I'm here to take Lisa home. Here's the folder. I purchased her on the internet. And Larry believed that was a fact. And I had to go and have a straight up fucking conversation with Larry. But I can say this, we can laugh at it, but some performers don't want to go on the road anymore because they're so afraid to have these confrontations, because it happens every week. A guy comes in and says you're catfishing.
I actually had a situation at Exotica where there was a fan who was very obvious hanging around my booth and, you know, the usual looming. And this wasn't like a catfish kind of thing. It was hyper stalker. And yeah, he followed me when I went to go get my French fries after the show is done. I'm getting my French fries and my drink, and I'm about to go back to my room.
He's right there.
And he's trying to follow. And I get to the room, and I get a phone call from security. And security is calling me because there is a ranting wife who says her husband is in my room. I was like, you can come up here yourself and verify that the husband is not.
So he's been getting catfished. She found all this stuff. She thinks it's you. You got caught in the crossfire. You still have not done shit here, Tori.
So then I'm getting reports that this woman is being arrested because she's causing a whole scene
at Exotica.
And then I'm getting DMs from the man, which obviously I'm looking now because I'm curious.
Of course you are. Get me on
Where is he?
Who is this human?
And I'm getting DMs. He's like, don't worry. She's getting locked away. We can be together now. And I was like, oh my God. She's getting locked away. And then it like continued on for months where I would block his account and block his account.
They started another one.
He started another one.
You know, when they start another one, they truly believe that something happened to their account. They don't know that we blocked them. They think something happened. I started a new account. I don't know what happened to my last one. I'm like, I fucking blocked you. That's what happened.
And now they have that feature where it's like block future accounts that they should make. They get around that.
They get around. It's a different email. Different email.
Yeah.
So earlier you said you like to write. I really think you could write Tori's terrible stories, a short story, like Chicken Soup for the Soul, because these things, you know, because you travel with her. We've all been in these situations in real time. And there's that moment where you're like, there's your one girlfriend that you're like, when I get to tell my one girlfriend this story, it's going to be funny. Right now, it's ruining my evening.
Right.
It's awkward as fuck.
At some point, this is going to be hysterical.
Get scared. Like, what people don't realize is, you know, there were times when I traveled alone on the road where I would wait till daylight to sleep.
Yeah.
Because I was getting put at like not good hotels, outdoor entrance.
Oh.
And, you know.
I literally used to I had a collection of onesies with hoods, like footy pajamas with hoods, because the beds were so disgusting.
Yeah.
I would not get into the bed unless I had a full suit
of clothes on. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I had a collection of all my onesies.
And I'll tell you what, the best thing that happened when social media happened was when I realized I can pull up this bed, take a photo of these bed bugs and tweet them and fuck with you. That was when I realized social media was powerful and I was going to finally get to stay in a Westin or better. Okay?
Yeah.
Because that is what my contract said.
Then I had some crazy stuff happen where I was on the road and I was door dashing and got into it because the restaurant had sent me something wrong, and then they lied to the DoorDash, and this was before customer service was as great as it was. And so there's this whole big thing. And so I was screenshotting all the conversations that were happening and putting it on my Twitter, and the restaurant leaked my hotel and the room number and everything. Mm-hmm. I was like,
they fucking fought back.
Me leaking the conversation.
Over there with some matches.
Me leaking the
Burn
conversation.
That fucking place
is
down.
Not the same as you leaking my address.
Not at all.
My phone number, my address, everything compromised.
You know what's interesting? You say this. I'm deathly afraid of delivery food.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of people figuring out who I am when I answer the door. So the only time delivery food is sent to my
apartment, get a little something special in your special sauce on the side.
Someone else is there and they order it on their app. I don't do that because I'm just too afraid because people are weird. And also when I was on the road, it wasn't a thing. So we had to fend for ourselves and find food. You know what I mean? So I got used to like the scavenger hunt of it all. But these short stories, these are the things that pile up and make you want to move to an island where you can be connected with nature and have two beautiful children and two beautiful dogs and be able to bike ride. And
let me just be able to walk down the street like a normal person. I get to go to the beach. I get to wear, not only do I get to go to the beach, I get to go suns out, bums out. Okay, full thong on the beach. And I'm normal. I'm totally normal. Nobody looks twice. There's butts everywhere.
Fantastic.
I'm like, I get to do whatever I want here. I'm free.
Yeah, it's a good space to be in because these are the things that like what. But people are wild. But I do think you should write these stories.
Oh, no.
Whether they're in blog form or whether because you reading the audio of them would be you could just read the audio into an app and then have it translate by AI.
I actually want to do my erotic novels and I want to do a reading of it because I feel like so back in the day, Zero Tolerance, they ended up. Because they owned rights to every part of the scene. Everything that you did in studio, they owned. They made a CD of my dirty talk. I didn't realize.
They were the king of compilations.
Yes.
Every one movie you did for ZT, you knew was going to actually end up 20 different times.
Yes.
They're going to change the color of your laundry on the box cover.
Yep.
But you're the same photo. You remember the day.
Yep.
But you're like, I don't remember this movie.
Or
I still have new movies coming in, brought to me at Exotic on the side. New movies. I'm like, it's a comp. It's a comp. I've been done.
You know that's a scene that's been around for a long time, right? But anyway, they sold this CD and they said it was one of their top selling, even over DVDs. And I was like, excuse me, what? You mean to tell me that I don't need to do all that? I just need to dirty talk. That's all I need to do.
You could have thrived in the 1-800 era.
I would have been so good.
You would have never needed porn to do anything.
But when I heard that, I was like, I write erotic novels all the time.
Narrate them.
Oh my God. I think I would do amazing. I'm just waiting until I'm like really, really like I'm done with this. And so I have the next step. If you still want a piece of me, I don't have my body to give you anymore, but you have
your voice.
I have this,
forever.
I have this, and you can have that.
I love all of it. I mean, you have this and you can do it later. And it's also going to be funnier later because you get together with people, you share these stories, you have all of these things. I've been known to hire PIs when I have a weird fan and find out everything about him.
Oh.
Because I'm that paranoid. I want to know where he works, what he does, where he lives, what his house looks like. I want the Google Maps. I want it all. It's not that expensive.
You're going to become the scary one.
Yeah.
You think you're scary.
You think
I'm going to be way scarier than you.
I know everything about you and have your entire family on Facebook, okay? We're in a group chat, okay?
Yeah, let me just go ahead and send your mom what you've been saying to me.
So what's it like for you only going on the road one time a year? Do you get like extra excited about it? Do you feel this this nostalgia going through your costumes, grabbing your tchotchkes? Like, what's it feel like?
I really do feel a huge burst of excitement. And I think that was the best part of the transition was, when I was traveling 3 times a month and then shooting in between, I was exhausted.
All the time.
And it wasn't even just because of one job or the other job. And it wasn't because one job I liked more than the other. It was just too much all at once. It was just too much. My body was falling apart underneath me.
And it's not only that, it's the packing, the unpacking, the organizing, the unorganizing, the wardrobe, the demands, the running around, the nails, the hair, the everything.
Trying to find an assistant to just manage all of your stuff. I was trying to explain it to one person sometime and she was like, you want me to do your laundry? And I was like, well, laundry and handle my wardrobe and organize the packing of shoot bags versus travel bags versus
unpack
personal dancing and all that. And yeah, I want you to do my laundry and then some. And she looked at me like, oh, I thought a personal assistant did more than just handle stuff. And I'm like, just somebody help me with my stuff. There's so much stuff.
It's so much stuff. It's just, that's when it's exhausting. But now you get to do it as like this burst of excitement. You get to have the fun.
Yeah.
The cash seems like more when you're not making it 3 times a weekend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was really good money then, and when I come out now, it's always really good.
I remember my last year on the road. I would say to my friends, there's going to come a time in my life where people aren't going to throw money at me anymore. It's gonna be very sad.
It's gonna be
I'm
sad.
gonna have to actually earn it. Like, it's not. I'm not just gonna be picking.
It's not yet.
It's like when I first started dancing, I looked at the money on stage like pickup sticks. Remember that game, pickup sticks,
yep.
which is a dumb game.
Yeah.
It's just picking up sticks. You know what I mean? Like, really, if you think about what pickup sticks is, right? That's what stripping was. I was like, oh, this is like pickup sticks, but it's fun. Yeah. You know, and I would get really good, and then I realized like, oh, people aren't gonna throw money at me, and if it is, it's gonna be like pennies because they're fighting with me in the street for some reason. It's not gonna be joyous, but you're gonna have money rained all over you again this weekend.
Woohoo! I'm excited for it.
I'm super excited. Now your new Instagram is,
It's Tori Black OFCL.
and what does that mean?
Tori Black Official.
Oh,
No. We're going down the list because
because
there's
all of the other ones were gone.
all of the fakes and all of the
They
pages.
steal our good names.
They do. My original was Miss Tori Black.
I remember that one.
That was my original. That was deleted because of the blacked photo.
Okay.
And then I had Official Tori Black. And that one was deleted. And then it turned to Tori Black OFCL.
Because you're just trying to
I'm
do it.
just,
And you're
give
like,
me
oh,
something.
just give me something.
Yeah. And now I think it's interesting. I don't know all of their policies and all of that, but how is it that if you're using my name or using my face but not my name, you're not impersonating me? That's an interesting one to me. So I get my photos stolen all the time, and then they say, my name is Becky. And then people are like, hey, Becky.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not Becky. That is a random person using my pictures.
It's most likely a guy in India
then
who's
you-
going to scam the fuck out of you
Yes.
right now.
And then you report them, and they're like, no, they're not
I agree.
impersonating you.
There's nothing worse than getting the response back.
Yeah.
I almost would rather like the response. And I have some that come on so hot that by the time I see them, they're like reposting my shit in real time. And I'm like, how can you not see this is the exact same thing?
Yeah.
It's very frustrating. Sometimes it's better to just not look. But everyone will follow you. You've been banished from X, and you've not been back on that platform. Are you on Facebook?
I was never on Facebook. I have so many fakes that by the time I went to go make a
too
page,
late.
I was like, how am I
Going to
going?
stand out in this crowd.
This is a big
this crowd
crowd.
of Tory Blacks over here.
I
How am I gonna be
literally
with-
have
with the real Tory
thousands.
Black? Please stand up. Please.
I feel like that is entirely my life story.
And
Where's the real one?
How
Right
about your
here.
OnlyFans address?
It's Official Tori Black.
Official Tory Black. So that's the important one. Are you on TikTok?
I have one, but it's a really weird, obscure one that I only use when I'm drinking.
Oh.
So you'll have to see when I double post, when I post it onto my Instagram.
Oh,
I don't even
that's
know my name.
That's the only way we know. This is amazing. Oh, I love that because I've seen you when you're drinking and you're awful fun.
You know what? I get really sassy.
Sassy. Because
I'm just sassy. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I love? When people are like, that's not very cute. I'm like, listen, I've spent my entire life cute. I really don't care much for it anymore. Okay? I've been cute for a very long time. I don't care. I could take a day off. I could take a day off. I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean?
yes, I completely fucking
I
know
think
what
Cardi
you
B
mean.
said something at one point. She said in one of her lyrics, it was something like, yeah, I look like this most of the time. That one time when I need to look good, I do. I was like, yes.
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 I do when I need to.
When I need to.
And you will when you're on stage. This is going to be a once a year thing, but your fans can still engage
when
with
I'm gonna
you
look good.
on your OF and on your Instagram. And it's been a pleasure, Tori. I'm so happy for the life that you created for your family.
Thank you.
And for yourself. And you're as beautiful as ever. And you've rocked through this business. And we've loved you every minute we get to be around you.
Oh, thank you. So sweet. It's been so nice to catch up.
We need more of this.
We do. We do.
need
I'm just
definitely
going to
more
have to
of
come
this.
back to New York some more.
Yeah, I live here full time, and I have a Murphy bed in my spare room. I can bring that thing down. You can stay. And for
I'll just
all of
sneak
you,
in.
make sure you share this with your friends. Make sure you don't get hustled by fake Tory Blacks.
No. This is
She
the
ain't
real one.
trying to ask you for nothing. And she's also not private chatting with you. She's walking dogs. She's on the beach. Her bums are out. Her kids are doing things. She's busy. Okay, so just don't even do it. But thank you for listening to an all-new episode of Lisa Ann's Backstage Convos.